I'm Marcie Baer. I'm in Maryland. I've been in practice for 26 years. I do acupuncture, herbs, and supplements and muscle testing. What was traditional acupuncture institute that's now Maryland University of Integrative Health.
I know you have a couple locations, and so tell us just a little bit an overview about that.
Sure. So I started out taking over a practice of a very busy practitioner. And then at some point, some physicians asked me, their brothers asked me if I would come practice at their practice. So I went with them as well. So that created two different locations in two different counties that are very far apart from each other. And each one has a very different flavor. And it's interesting because when one practice was doing a little better, the other one would not be, and then one would do better and then the other one wouldn't. So there was inconsistency throughout the years, but it was nice to have not all my eggs in one basket. So that was helpful. I had a lot of ups and downs, steady practice, but sometimes it was busier than others. So it fluctuated. And then I started doing some courses with Yu Chen, and each one was targeted to some skill set to develop or some kind of marketing. And then my practice grew from doing that. And then it also was helpful for shaping and honing some things that could improve. And as I did that, it just got busier and busier.
Wonderful. And what were you most frustrated with before you were part of the Mastermind, the Introverted Visionaries Mastermind?
A fluctuating number of appointments per week. So I'd be busier one week, less busy the other. So I would have openings, and I was, always having concern about how to fill my schedule.
And actually, I was just thinking back to this. It's been a while. And do you remember? Had you done the six-figure speaking makeover mentorship first, or did you join the mastermind and then you had done the speaking mentorship during the mastermind?
I did the speaker mentorship in my first year of Mastermind.
Okay.
I did a couple other courses with you before I joined the Mastermind. So it was 14 days. And there were a couple of intensives where they were over the weekend to do honing in on some particular skill or aspect of, practice development.
Wonderful. As you were deciding to be a part of the Introverted Visionaries Mastermind, any hesitation?
I didn't know what was going to be asked, so I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do it. But then it was very step by step and very inclusive and welcoming, and masterminding with my other mastermind buddies. I just felt like I had joined part of a family.
What's changed for you that you're excited about?
Oh, so many things have happened during the mentorship. Number one goal was to fill my schedule, and now I am so full that I'm booking new people 2.5 months from now to be able to start them with any kind of appointment where I can give them something the next week as well. And so starting new along, and I've got a waiting list. I'm super, super busy. It's been very consistent. And then in the years that I've been in the Mastermind program, I've had so many firsts. So each year was better than the previous year. And so I would reach new milestones. And then this past year, I had most patients in a week, most patients in a day. Let's see. The most dollars in a month, most dollars in a week, most dollars in a day, all kinds of milestones.
Yeah, super exciting. I loved hearing those from you. And you also had like biggest income too, right? Like of the year.
Every year, actually, in the mentorship program, every year I had more money income than the previous year. So every year built. So I had each year was a first. And so this, I keep building on it.
Yeah, super exciting. Book 2.5 months out and being consistent and in your practices. And what because you're now looking to expand a bit, right? Like in terms of having other practitioners. So tell us a little bit about your vision for that.
Sure. So I've been so busy consistently and not even being able to get returned calls done with people that are calling 2 or 3 times. I called before, I want to come in. Somebody please call me. It's a nice position to be in where, that I'm in demand like that. And I had to hire an assistant for my other assistant so she could get to the return calls and get new patients booked. And then I'm having to expand and hire another acupuncturist to be able to see more people because we're just not being able to accommodate the demand.
That's so awesome.
People are asking, it said I looked at who's available and I wanted you. And part of it was my write up. And so it's just a variety of things that help shape, all this just all coming together.
So awesome. And tell us a little bit about like some of the milestones you've had too. Like I remember you were all excited about this detox program that you're planning on offering. And so actually before we talk about that, like tell us a little bit about the services that you offer in your practice and how much you charge.
People come in and we will do an analysis of things that are out of balance and muscle test them and then see what will rebalance them. And that's just per visit. And then there's packages. We developed a couple of detox programs and we would have posters and people would come in and look at the poster and, oh, that's me. And I want to sign up for it. And so we would do for $1,200, it would be a 28-day program. And we would help them a comprehensive and safe detox program that will get them through like 28 days to get to a good starting place to then maintain.
Wonderful. And what like your acupuncture services, what do you charge for those?
So at this point, it's 167 for an initial visit, and then it's 92 for the follow-up visits. And I see 3 people an hour.
Great. And what was it like for you to offer those programs? Like, how did your patients feel about them?
So yeah, they liked having the guidance, and we did a weight loss, couple of choices of weight loss programs, couple of choices for the detox programs. They like having somebody actually one-on-one with them and have some guidance and do's and don'ts and to help them be successful.
And what other milestones are you really proud of?
Of course, the most dollar volume per year, the most number of patients seen in a day, week, a month, and it's just so steady. It doesn't fluctuate anymore. So not having the stress of up and down, and then learning how to, okay, how can I make that better and bigger? So learning how to hire someone else to come in to take some stress off us and have some more, passive income and help more people. I just learning how to do things. I feel like I'm more on top of a number of skills that allow me to build the practice bigger.
Your vision looking ahead that you're super excited about?
In one of my practices, bringing in some other practitioners so that we can have a holistic referral unit, and then in the other practice to bring in other practitioners as employees to expand that practice as well. I'm just looking to see where I can take this and just keep building on what we've been doing and using the skills that we have learned, and just have a vision of a nice place where people can come to have different practitioners help them, and they don't have to go to a lot of different places to have those things. So people are on the same page with them and they don't feel like they're getting different advice from different people that conflicts. So creating a space like that is my vision.
Beautiful. What was it like for you when we really looked at the 10X plan and the 10X perspective for your practice?
It was hard to, you know, put down something that I thought was unrealistic expectation for what I wanted, where I wanted to get. And yet, as we worked on it, I ended up getting there or exceeding it. And, I was just amazed that, wow, I thought this wasn't reachable. And it's like, what's your wildest dream? And it was a struggle to put down my wildest dream for this year, and then I ended up accomplishing it and then built on that. So, yeah, I think
Yeah,
out of my own self constraint.
that was super exciting and to see. And what was it like for you to have the done for you templates and scripts?
Oh, yes, very much. Because the way I work is I work like by myself and trying this out and tweaking this and tweaking that, and starting with a framework is extremely helpful. That was very helpful because it gave a focus and direction and flow to what I needed to have.
How was this experience different from other business trainings you've had in the past?
It's a lot more tailored to me and to what my goals are, and a lot of feeling supported and part of a community. Other things have been, here's the template and fit yourself into it, and it wasn't personalized.
I'm curious, like, how was each year? Because you ended up being a part of the mastermind for 3 years. And how is each year different for you?
Oh, the first year was just getting my bearings and wrapping my brain around a lot of new concepts. And that took a large part of that year. And I was learning things that I didn't know I was learning till I got to the second year and look back at, oh, I remember when we learned this or that. So there was a lot of stuff in the first year that I did more in the first year than I thought I was doing once I got further along in the second year and the third year. And everything just kept building on earlier things that we learned. And then in the third year, I felt like I was more in, oh, I'm going to use this from here and I'm going to use this from here and put this together. So I was able to put packages together. And I've done a couple of packages. So now I can go on and do other packages. And I learned how to formulate something on just like a one page that would be compelling for someone, whether it's something we're offering or like a course, or whether it's something in the office we're offering, but people can see it, relate to it. And it's because of the skills in learning how to distill it into one page that make it compelling and have people want to sign up.
Wonderful. What would you say? Because I know you were really good at receiving referrals from providers and doctors. So tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I get a lot of referrals from physicians I've never met. And I think in the beginning, it started with getting a referral in for acupuncture, but they didn't write anybody in particular. They just referred this patient for acupuncture, and it was a pain management center. And so I said, let's send them a thank you note for referring this patient to us. And so we had these formal, pretty handwritten, well, we handwrite these thank you notes, and we included a brochure. And apparently somebody at that office photocopied it, and they started just referring patient after patient to us. So they learned more about us and what we do and everything from the brochure, and they liked the results. So we get, lots of referrals from this pain management center. I guess we're just, we have a lot of patients and they go to other practitioners. So we're getting referrals from chiropractors and patient first. There's some doctor at patient first that was referring. It just started snowballing from the practice building and people hearing about us. And then we always send thank you notes to them. And I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, that's great. And so wonderful to be able to help the more patients through the doctors who are sending their patients to. What are you most proud of from this journey?
Oh, I just think I've come into fruition. It's like I feel like I got my training wheels off and I'm flying on my own, and I know what to do and how to do this and how to do that with a lot more ease.
What would you say was your favorite part of the mastermind experience?
The courses that we did and the intensives. So we would spend 2 or 3 days um, it, talking with each other and breaking down into twos and threes and bouncing ideas off each other and practicing and developing our clarifying our thoughts and some procedure that we were working on, that camaraderie. And also I very much enjoyed my coaching sessions because it was we could drill down on something specific I wanted to work on and get help with. And we did that twice a month, and that was very helpful.
Wonderful. Yeah. And because you have an assigned coach, right? Um,
Yes. In addition to courses with you. So the various courses where we developed some skill, it was very focused and intensive, and those were very helpful. And then the coaching. Yeah.
Wonderful. What would you say this experience has been like for you as an introvert?
Oh, yes. Well, that was a big part of it too, is because I am an introvert. And so it gently pulled me out of my shell a little bit to do new things that I was hesitant to do. And
And
then that helped develop.
awesome. If you knew then what you know now, what advice would you give?
Oh my. So I would love to have done this when I was closer to getting out of school and not having to spend so many years trial and error, not really knowing how to get to where I wanted to go. I felt like I was bungling along and succeeding, but not, I really would like to have been working with you way back when, instead of after I've been in practice so many years, and then, think where that could have been, starting sooner.
What would you say to someone who might be on the fence?
Oh, I think it's so worth taking a course from you. Get your feet wet, see what you're getting from that. Do a weekend intensive or something where you can get a feel for what it's like, and then you can take the plunge. And the mastermind is really the wonderful way to have guidance to develop your practice the way you want to and get clarity on what you want to create as well. Just take advantage of all that are offered and the templates that are done for you, and which helps you have clarity and vision about what you want to do and how you want to do it. And just get the feedback from your fellow mastermind buddies and your coach. It's just a nice comprehensive thing. Take advantage of it. And it's a nice community to be a part of.
Any words of wisdom from having been in practice for over 20 years now, looking back, and what advice would you give?
Oh, don't give up. Things can get hairy or slow or whatever, but it always waxes and wanes, and keep your mind open. I guess one of the biggest things for me is to envision envision it being busy, envision people coming to me for help, and somehow the phone just started ringing. So I just have a positive vision of what you want to see transpire, and that really does work. And then that just brings that positivity, and that imagery helps bring forth success.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Marcie. It's just been so much fun to work with you, and always hearing like your all these cool things happen for you. And I love how you're so coachable, and you end up having these desires and then take that step, and then you come back, you're like, hey, this happened for me and that happened for me. And it's just so much fun to work with you. So congratulations, and look at how far you've come along. And it's just
Yes.
so fantastic.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's been a wonderful journey.
To continued growth and continuing to help more and more people. So congratulations. And for those of you who are in a place where you might be at a plateau in your practice, or you just feel like something's bubbling up and you feel like there's more waiting to be expressed, and more people who are waiting to be helped, and you would love to be making good income too. So feel free to go to introvertedvisionary.com and book a free chat with us, and more than happy to see how we can help you with growing your practice faster and to one that is really fulfilling for you and that you're really proud of. So with that, thank you so much for joining us today, and see you next time.